Just
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Mr. Brown. I am the principal here at Jackson Reed, and I want to welcome you and thank you for coming out this evening as we have. This is actually our third night for family orientations, and we're focused, and a lot of the content you'll hear tonight will be geared towards the 11th grade class. So those of you that are here in person, thank you for making the time. Those of you that are joining us online, we appreciate that and so glad that we can get this content and this information out to everybody. So tonight, the overview and the information that you'll hear is first, we wanted to make sure that there is an opportunity for you to know who will be working with your son or daughter this school year. I also wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to meet me, and I'm glad that I'm starting to see some familiar faces, some folks that I met either at a meet and greet or met during the end of last school year, or that I'm just seeing around the building. It really is important to me that we establish that and build community as we get ready to come into the SY23 school year. And I'm also glad to have the opportunity to welcome you into the building. And I know that this is, this is a junior year, and talking and hearing from one of our parents, this is the first time they've actually come into the building. So I'm really pleased to welcome you. Tonight you'll see that it's a few things that we're going to cover, with the main pieces being, what is it that our juniors will need as they get acclimated to this upcoming school year? What information is it that we want to share and put before you so that everybody has a solid understanding around this upcoming school year? And I know a school this large with approximately 2,200 students and over 200 staff members, faculty and staff members, you'll see tonight, and you already know, probably better than I do, that there's a lot happening here at Jackson Reed. There are a lot of opportunities for our young people. And tonight we will not be able to go over everything, but at the end of the day, if you know who you can contact around certain areas or programs that we have to help you understand and to address some questions that you may have, then to me that's a big win as we get ready to start this year. So again, I'm Mr. Brown. I am the incoming principal here at Jackson Reed, and I'm really delighted to be back as a member and a Tiger. And I say be back because I was here before as an assistant principal in 2008, 2009, and this is the building that I did my administrative training in. And after serving as an assistant principal in a number of schools such as Hardy and Cardozo, I moved to the principalship at Roosevelt and most recently Eastern. So this will be my 7th year as a principal in DC public schools, and I'm really glad to be back at the building and in the environment that, one, I'm familiar with families that have matriculated through this feeder pattern, being at Hardy for 3 years, and two, to be back at such a special place, a great place that's full of a lot of just joy, excitement, and ways in which we can support our students. So as I continue to learn about Jackson Reed, and as we continue to start this upcoming school year, I just wanted to share briefly a few things that I've been focused on, and also a few things that will carry us throughout this year. With the first one being building and understanding and deepening the trust of everybody that interacts with us within the Jackson Reed community. Having an understanding and more opportunities like this, where you can come into the building, where we can connect, even if it's outside of the building, but just these opportunities to understand you, for you to understand us as a school, who's working with your child, and what the expectations are. And in the number of places that I've worked, including Jackson Reed, one thing is You want your child to have a successful and enjoyable high school experience, and so do we. So if we can make sure that we bridge that partnership and see how we can make that happen collectively, the outcomes for our kids are limitless and amazing. So we've been focusing on building trust, hearing from other individuals. I've heard from parents. I also heard from our Student Government Association and had a great meeting with them, and they've planned and have already mapped out a great number of events and activities that they'd like to see happen in the upcoming school year. The next component and focus has been just making sure that this is a safe place for your child to come and learn, but also a safe place for our faculty and staff to come and teach and to work each day. And we've started with the exterior of the building, the physical structure, making sure that work orders are in, making sure that exterior doors have working alarms and egress bars, making sure that we have work orders in for other items that unfortunately haven't been working properly, and we're working with DGS to make sure that those continue. But it's more than just making sure that the physical structure is sound. We need to make sure that the hearts and minds of our young people are sound as well, by teaching them, by understanding and making sure that they adhere to our expectations of respect, our expectations of ownership, our expectations of responsibility. So we'll be spending some time working with our young people, teaching, talking, connecting with them, so that everybody understands what it means to be a Jackson Reed Tiger and how we can make their high school experience an incredible one. So that's been the second thing that I was focused on and will continue to focus on as we start this school year. And third and finally is working to increase the academic outcomes and achievement for all of our students. All of our students. Not just the students who may be struggling to stay on track for promotion or graduation, but all of our students, even those students who are at a 4.0 and excelling. We want to push them academically, make sure that we're setting them up for success and intervening and finding programs and activities that they'll get interested in and be involved that's going to help them reach their goals. And you'll hear some of that tonight, especially when we share about our NAF academies and our growing CTE program. Thinking about whether it is a student wants to go into college or go into career, it's our job to make sure that they are prepared for whatever choice they want to take. And I've been working and having conversations with our department chairs and teacher leaders around what's going on in the classroom. So assessing that work, going into the rooms and just learning what strategies have already gotten Jackson Reed to perform at such a high rate, and what do we need to do to continue to move forward from where we are. So those are the three items that I've been focusing on, and I'll be giving updates on those items throughout the course of this school year. And as we think about this course of the school year and the work that needs to happen, I cannot do this work alone. And I'm so glad to be connected and have the support of our leadership team. So I just want to make sure you're all aware, and I know most of you are juniors in this audience and tuning in tonight. I want to make sure that you're aware of some other individuals that support me in this work, and those are our assistant principals, Ms. Blunt and Mr. Minster. They'll be leading the 9th grade class, so if you see them or interact with them, or if they reach out, that is who they are. Ms. Goodman will be leading our 10th grade class. And we have Mr. Bargeman, and you'll hear from Mr. Bargeman tonight. Give him a big round of applause. You know, he was the interim principal last year and is continuing the role as assistant principal, taking the leadership of this class. And our seniors will be led by Mr. Anthony and Miss Robinson. So, supported by assistant principals, and I have the privilege of being supported by a number of directors. And these are individuals that will help support your child. And you'll see Dr. Goff and get a chance to meet her. She is the director of our specialized instruction program. So you may hear or see from her throughout the course of this school year. And then we have Mr. Wims and Ms. McClure. Ms. McClure is here tonight, and she'll be giving an update around our NAF academies. And then also somebody who helps ensure that the facilities are where they need to be and the operations within the building are sound. That is Mr. Hall, who is our Director of Strategy and Logistics. So those are just a few individuals that continue to help move Jackson Reed forward, and I wanted to make sure that you got a chance to know who they are. Now, equally important in terms of knowing who they are, for us it's important that we know who you are. And we do not want communication to be one way. So this is not only a night of many opportunities where you can and we will engage with you, but we want to hear from you. So if you can take out your cell phones and just pull up and take a picture of this QR code. It's a brief questionnaire that's intended to capture some information about you and your child so that we can just take a look at it as we start the year. And if you can just respond to those few questions, I'll move out of the way here, but just respond to those few questions so that we can hear from you and get an understanding of who it is that we'll be educating this year. If there's anything you want us to know about your child, things that we may need to know, again, this is just an opportunity to engage so we can begin opening up that opportunity for some more dialogue. And later tonight, we'll share more information about how you can get involved and how we can interact throughout the course of this school year. We'll make this available again. If there's one per family, that is great. Again, just contact information, but also tell us a little bit about your child. If there's something you want us to know, something we should know, even if it's what they're interested in, because that's part of making sure that our students feel a sense of belonging and connected to an adult here as we go on throughout this school year. Again, we want to personalize the instruction and activity. I'm going to move on for the sake of time, and I want to honor your time. Feel free to continue to fill out or answer those questions, those few questions there, but I also want to share some information around mental health, because we know the last few years have been extremely challenging and difficult, and you'll hear about, and Mr. Barger will share around some specifics on who is working with your son or daughter during the 11th grade year. But I wanted you to be aware, as a school, we're here to support all of our children, and we know the last few years have been challenging and students may need some additional supports. So we do have 2 psychologists on staff, as well as a mental health referral system. Not only does each grade level have members of our mental health team, whether that be a school counselor or a social worker, but we also have psychologists and also can refer out for any additional support. So information on making a referral is available to you. Just let us know or reach out and we'll make those supports available. Now, as we get ready to start this school year, we're really excited to have everyone back. We're really looking forward to coming back together. Some things are still in place, as we know that we are still dealing with COVID-19. And I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of the requirement of test to return. And those of you that were with us last year know that when we came back from any extended break or holiday, students were required to test to return and show evidence of a negative COVID test. That continues. Now, to ease and expedite the process of students coming into the building, we really want to make sure that everybody has access, aware that they need to upload or have evidence of a negative COVID test upon their return. And those results need to be uploaded to the website dcpsstrong.com. Okay, similar, same approach as we did last year. Now, this has implications not only on coming into the building, but I also wanted to point out the immunization requirements that are in place this year, with all families and students needing to be in compliance, not only with their immunizations, but also having the COVID-19 vaccine if they did not have a waiver for that. Okay, and we'll be sending out more communication about it. Again, I just wanted to reiterate it so that everybody is clear around what's expected upon day 1. Now, related to day 1, I want to talk about how we will arrive and how we will manage coming in. Because we know that it is a not only first day of school where students would come back, and we'll be distributing their schedules. We know that we'll have approximately, and are anticipating about 2,200 students, and those of you who came into the atrium or walked through the atrium this afternoon or this evening, you saw that currently they are doing construction on the tile floor to make sure the name represents Jackson Reed. And it's a lot happening and we're excited about that. And we know that they have communicated to us that the floor will be done by the first day of school. But we also know that sometimes projects take longer than expected. So we wanted to make sure we had a plan to get all of our students in such a way that we could monitor and manage the test to return requirement, give them their schedule, and make sure that we can ease any overcrowding in that atrium in the event it is not done. So for the first 2 days, we've been approved for a staggered arrival time. And the staggered arrival time, you see them behind me, are 9th graders. If there are any 9th graders in here streaming online, your report time is when doors open at 8:10. So we'll have about our 615 projected 9th graders coming in at that time. And that will give them an opportunity to get their schedules in an orderly fashion without other grades in the building, and give them an opportunity to familiarize themselves somewhat with the building during the first 2 periods without everybody being in the building. And then followed behind them will be 10th graders coming into the building at 9:45, and 11th and 12th graders will come in at 12 noon, get their schedules, and go on to class. And the 11th and 12th graders will come in during the lunch period. We've been approved, so families, if you're asking, well, what about periods 1 and 2, our students will be excused for those first 2 periods, 11th graders and our 12th graders. So that is something that is in place to allow for the schedules to come out and the test to return process to take place to ease the overcrowding that could happen if we had 2,200 students all coming at the first time. Now, in terms of the uploading the documents, and this is the importance of having the negative COVID test results uploaded, because you'll come in through the main entrance, those 3 doors at the main entrance. If you don't have uploaded results, we will direct those students to the pool entrance, which is a little bit further down, so that you can do the on-site testing. Okay? Again, we need to make sure that we can get all students in an orderly fashion and also in a timely fashion. And because we not only have the first day of school, students coming, getting their schedules, but also have to accommodate any students that need to test, is why we have this staggered start. So students that come through the pool that need to test, we'll test there on site and then get them up to class once they test negative. If anybody has a positive test, their parents will be contacted and the students will be dismissed for the day. Okay? So that is where we are in terms of the entry and the staggered arrival time. I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. We are going to push out more information. All right, the first of my weekly principals emails and newsletters will be coming out this Sunday, and we will make sure we get that communication out throughout this week. I know that there may be questions, and I will be here after the event tonight. We'll have a moment for Q&A, and I'll make sure during that Q&A session to address any questions that you might have related to any content that's covered tonight. I ask that you hold those questions till the end. Now with that, we're going to go on here, and I want to introduce, and give me a big round of applause. I have the privilege of bringing up Mr. Bargeman, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Bargeman for the rest of this day.
I'm very excited to be here this evening. As you know, I have been here for this is my 22nd year here, and I was here when Mr. Brown came to do his internship here for his principalship. And he's always been a great leader. I look forward to serving under his leadership. I look forward to the great things that he will bring to Jackson Reed. And now, I want you to meet your 11th grade team. I've already introduced myself. We have a new counselor here that will be arriving. She's not here yet, but she's going through the process, and she will be here soon. Laurie Ligon. And we also have, who will be speaking later on tonight, Ms. Lane. Any questions or things until Ms. Ligon gets here, you will go through Ms. Lane. You can email Ms. Lane about any scheduling issues or whatever needs you may have. We have our two deans, Mr. Martin, who's been here for quite some time, and Mr. Boone. Mr. Martin, of course, used to be our head coach for football. We have our social worker, Lacey Madry. We have a new attendance counselor. You will have the opportunity to meet her. She is going through the process right now, but Deshawn Hawkins. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the life of a Tiger. A lot of you have been here before. Some of the information may be new to you. Some of the information may be old news to you. But we're going to go through this to make sure, because we have some new parents. How many new parents do we have here? Yes, okay. We will be doing a tour of the building at the end for the new parents, so you get a chance to see what your students will be seeing on the first day of school. So next year, we will have, for those of you who were here last year, we had 4 periods. We were on a 4x4 block, so we had 4 periods per semester. But this year, we will have 8 periods on an A-B day schedule with F1, F2. So I'm going to explain that to you so you'll have a better understanding. And the A-B day schedule will be posted on our website, so you all know. A-B-D-A will meet on Mondays and Wednesdays. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, students will have the same classes, and F1, which is Friday 1, we have a Friday 1 and a Friday 2. And so they're alternate. So when we're doing an F1, that means that their classes that meet on Monday and Wednesday will meet on that, those same classes will meet. The B day classes will meet on Tuesday and Thursday, F2. So every Tuesday and Thursday you will have the same 4 classes, and whenever F2 comes up on your schedule, you will have those 4 classes again on Friday. So this is an example. So we have Monday, Wednesday, F1. These are the classes: algebra, English, chemistry, and U.S. history. You will go to all of those classes on Monday, Wednesday, and whenever there is a Friday 1. On the B-day schedule, which is the same Bell schedule, you will have, in this example, film studies, AP, computer science, music, and art. You will go to these classes on Tuesday and Thursday, and when there's a Friday 2, you will go to that class for the 3rd time. So attendance. We used to have something that was called the 80-20 rule. If anybody remembers that 80-20 rule, that means if you came to school after first period and it was unexcused, you would be counted absent for the whole day. They've changed that. Now we have 60%. If you come 60% of the day, then you would be counted as being present. For example, let's say a student arrived to school after first period, but came to second period. Now, if they come to second period, anytime during second period, they will be counted present for the day. If they come after first and second period, they will be counted absent for the day. So that's the new 60-40 rule that we have for this year. Attendance policies are the same. You will get a phone call just to let you know these slides will be available to you probably, I think, starting on Friday. I think starting Friday, these slides will be available to you. But you can see this is the, as you get unexcused absences, this is what will be the consequences of those. Technology. We are one-to-one, so everyone who wants a computer can get a computer, and if students want to use their own computers, they can bring their own. But we will provide a computer for all students. Now we got new computers that we'll be giving out. We've upgraded, and we'll be giving out new computers, and this is the schedule. So the 11th grade will be giving out new computers on the 24th. And it has nothing to do with the class of 2024. It just happened to be on the 24th. So on the 24th, from 9 to 12, 11th grade will be able to come and pick up a new computer. And we have a makeup day on that Saturday from 9 to 12. So that following Saturday from 9 to 12, you'll be able to pick up a computer. Lunch update. So last year, we were under a federal program in which everybody received a lunch. Lunch was free for everyone. This year, we're going back to our normal process of if you apply for free and reduced lunch, you can get your lunch free or you can get it reduced. If you don't qualify for that, you would have to pay $3 per lunch. How this works is you get an account online, you add money to that account, and whenever you go and a student goes to get their lunch, they type their number in, and the money is extracted from that account. Of course, breakfast and after-school meals will continue to be free. Off-campus lunch policy. Now, this is for, the rules for that is if you have a 2.5 GPA or better, you qualify to have off-campus lunch. So during fourth advisory, if you had of last year, and if you're new, we will look at what you did the previous year. But last year, if you have a 2.5, you qualify, you must get a parent permission in order to do that. So, a lot of the students, we have the link there where you can get the application, fill it out, and then you'll be able to go to off-campus lunch. We have a lot of different restaurants and everything along Wisconsin that you can go to, but this is our off-campus lunch policy rules. Family engagement. We have a lot of different ways in which we engage with the family. Principal Brown will have his weekly email. We have the principal's coffee. We have, as you can see, we have a lot of ways of engaging with our families. The Remind is something that